Hi, Tim Turner. This is Melissa from White Teeth. I'm sending you this audio to offer you a free oral checkup and diagnosis consultation. But in the meantime, I'm attaching a picture so you can take a look at the offer. Talk to you soon.
This is Melissa, the assistant at White Teeth Clinic. I just sent you a promotion, as you probably saw a few minutes ago, and I'm also calling because you just filled out our form. If you'd like, feel free to tell me more about the issue you mentioned.
Yeah, I was wondering what you specialize on.
Your call is scheduled for Thursday, May 22nd at 5:30 p.m. You will receive a confirmation via email and WhatsApp shortly. Let me know if you need anything else.
This AI receptionist generates over $8,743 per month in extra revenue for dental clinics. Obviously, I'm going to be showing you how this is possible, despite it's not a crazy number. It's information about how dentists really charge, so we get an idea about numbers that we are going to be managing on this explanation, right? So every dental implant case is unique and costs can vary based on the patient's specific need. Typically, a single dental implant costs between $1,500 or $1,500 and $2,000 per implant and not per procedure, because the procedure is something even more complete. Some patients may only need one implant, while others could require several if they are missing multiple teeth. For example, it's not going to be the same those patients who need one tooth to be placed, so that would be 1.5, but if they need 4, it will be just $6,000. Additionally, costs usually range from 1.5 to $2,800, and when it's combined with the implant itself, the total cost for a single dental implant can range from $3,000 up to $4,800 according to WebMD, which is like literally this dental depot. Then we have the AI system, which is going to be the vehicle, plus having a marketing strategy and defining your offer and talking specifically to your ICP, which is your ideal customer profile. Well, with all that combined that I'm going to be explaining to you on this video briefly so you can understand it without technicisms and all of that, you'll be getting an idea of how to scale this case, making even more money with your dental clinic with AI and marketing. Well, we have an AI system which just is compounded by 2 parts, right? So first we have a workflow, which is this, and we have a scenario, which are both that, and we have one which is specified, dedicated for booking a call with a lead, and then we are going to be sending a call. So for you to understand, we're going to be using forms, okay? In Meta Ads, which Meta Ads, for me at least, I think the best vehicle for us to get booked appointments, qualified, and people who are willing to pay us for what we offer to the market in a way that is not that difficult. First, what we have is a webhook. It doesn't really matter that you understand it or know what it is, but to explain it briefly and it's completely understandable, what a webhook is like one friend who is always listening about what we usually or what we always do. Once he has listened, it will do or trigger something, which is its role right here in this scenario. When this webhook receives data, as for example the fields that a user or a potential client, prospect, or a lead has already submitted in our form, in Meta Ads again, we'll be having their answers here. Once we do have that, we're really looking up to the problem type in a Google Sheets. We're going to be saving the responses in variables. We're going to be fixed numbers, so the error code, if it hasn't been included, we'll be adding it. We're going to be cleaning up responses because people, for example, on the question about their name could say, my name is blah, 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 and we'll be just taking the blah, 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 blah part, and now the my name is. Then about that, and related with it, we're going to be creating an offer audio. We'll be extracting that from the file. We're going to be sending through WhatsApp an audio offer, so it's personalized or customized. We'll be waiting just 20 seconds to match the image, because in one part of that audio, it will say something like, okay, this is blah, blah, blah from this dental clinic. I'm going to be sending you an image about our last offer, which is this one. And then it will be saying on that same audio some seconds after that, and that it will trigger a call, that it will be calling that person. And then, well, once we download the offer image, we are going to be extracting from file. We are going to be sending again through WhatsApp, and we're going to be waiting 20 seconds and make a retail AI call. Then we're going to be waiting 5 minutes, which is just the maximum that we're gonna be limiting the call to be, but it could be up to 2 hours. It doesn't really matter. But obviously we're gonna just limit it to that time. And then after 5 minutes, we're gonna be getting that call first result, and then we're gonna be evaluating if with a conditional, which is an if the user did hang up within a few seconds or not. If that condition is true, what we're gonna be doing is just to add in your table, which is a CRM, which looks like Google Sheets, but it's even better because we can upload files to it, and it has an interface, and it's better above. And then we're gonna be adding a didn't answer record, which is gonna be acting or working as a tag, and we're gonna be sending a message that it didn't answer the call. This we'll be doing through WhatsApp, and we're gonna be waiting 5 seconds, and then we'll be sending the second message. These 2 second messages are gonna be sent to the user or to the potential client or lead itself. And then if the user hang up within a few seconds, if that condition is false, what we're gonna be doing is to translate the summary, because we could be getting whether it is in French, whether it is in Spanish, whether it is in Portuguese, whether it is in English. And what we do want to do is to translate it in English, because it's the language that we're speaking right now. And then we're gonna be formatting an entry for the recording, because it's kind of specific what our table requires. So we'll be just taking that into account here, and we'll be adding answered record on the Airtable CRM. As we were saying, that funnel, that if you don't know what a funnel is, there's no problem, I can explain it. Imagine a triangle, but it's gonna be inverted, like the other way around, in which we have the top of the funnel, in which we generate attraction. We just get people to see our business, what we do, like so they get to know what services we're able to offer or to deliver. Once they know what we do and what we specialize on, there is a nurturing sequence, so they have more idea and they have more confidence about how we work, which results we have delivered to our clients, and all of that. And then down in the funnel, what we have is the closing, which means out of, let's say for example, 100 people who had entered in that funnel, in that sales call, in that consultation, in that appointment, in real life, how much people have already closed is going to be determining our closing rate, which is going to be a key factor for us to know how much money we'll be generating in our business. So on this top of the funnel, the way we are going to be having eyes or attention in our business is through the vehicle of med ads, of paid ads. So in those paid ads, what we are going to be doing, it really depends on the industry that we work in. But for example, in dental clinics, what we can do is that we can create static ads, which are just an image with a text, with a call to action, which is gonna be giving the lead a specific step for they to take. And then what we can do is to create ads, more video ads, in which we kind of let the lead to know what we really are good at. And then they would swipe up, and there will be a form. As for example, this is not what will be popping up, but this is just an example so you get an idea. But let's say for example, they see your ad, they just swipe up and they see this form. Well, White Teeth forms, obviously it has some fields to be filled. As for example, in this case, phone number, email, tell us your full name and what orthodontic problem do you have. And this will be a radio selector. And then once they submit it, we're gonna be submitting our data, for example, name, email, or problem. And then once they do that, once that form has been submitted, the AI caller, as the first step, is gonna be making a call based on context, on their answers. That's why it's important for them to fill that form. And then we're gonna be evaluating sometimes if the user did answer or not that call. So if it did answer, we're going to be aiming to schedule an appointment. If it did not, we'll be waiting at first 30 minutes to call again, and we'll be just delivering the second call. We're going to be evaluating again if the user did answer or not. If it did, every time that it did answer the call, we're going to be aiming to schedule an appointment, so you don't see it repeatedly. And well, when it doesn't reply and the second time, we're gonna be waiting now 1 day or 24 hours to call again. And we're gonna be repeating this process with the third, here again, and with the fourth call, and this can be repeated for X5, sorry. On the other hand, what we have is the sequence part, in which all this workflow, all this system, the way this really works, is gonna be divided in sequences through parts. For example, sequence part 0. We send a WhatsApp audio once that form has been filled, message with the offer. Then we send it obviously with AI. We just create it up in the moment, yeah. Then we send a photo of the offer after 15 up to 20 seconds. Here's an example for it, for you to get an idea. And then we just let them know. When we say let them, we mean to let those potential clients know that we're gonna be about a call. Sequence part 1, what we do is that, well, the call has been made, then the lead answers the call, and once answered, we aim to learn more about a person. We just show empathy and express genuine concern for the person, and as mentioned, our goal is to schedule an appointment. Then we ask about their problems based on their former responses, and we propose a free appointment to meet for you to then close that deal. And then on the part 2 of the sequence, if the user agree, we'll be checking a calendar, and we'll be seeing with a conditional if is there any available time or slot or not in our calendar. If it is any available spot, we'll be scheduling the appointment with the user and we'll be letting them know. And if it's not, we suggest another available time slot and we schedule it. And then after we schedule one appointment, we'll be sending a Google Calendar invite to the email provided in their form. That's why it's important to ask for their details, contact information, so we get an idea about how we can contact that lead later if we want to schedule a call or just send a message. Then we send a personal automated WhatsApp message to confirm that call or that appointment, and then the reminder sequence begins. Whether it is that we want to send a reminder 48 hours before the appointment, or 24 hours before the appointment, 1 hour before, or just on the appointment time, or all of this combined. There's really no problem. Then we have the meet with the patient. You just close that deal. You just help that person with what you're good at, with your specialized knowledge, and then by the result, you just end up generating more money. This has been the theoretical part, and we will be just moving on the practical part. So here we are on the forms. We're gonna be just filling it up with my data, my phone number, my email, then my full name. I'm gonna be called as Tim Turner, let's say, for example, and the orthodontic problem that I have, let's say, for example, that I have crossbite, for example. And then once we just press submit, what we should expect to happen is gonna be that I just receive here in WhatsApp a message about that, well, we have filled a form, we're gonna be receiving an audio, and we'll be having that specific image about the offer. We're just gonna be waiting for the message. The audio, if you can see it.
Hi, Tim Turner. This is Melissa from White Teeth. I'm sending you this audio to offer you a free oral checkup and diagnosis consultation with our specialist, Dr. Lee. I'll call you in a few seconds to answer any questions you may have. But in the meantime, I'm attaching a picture so you can take a look at the offer. Give me just a second. There it is. Talk to you soon.
Here's the image, and now we're gonna just be waiting for it to call me. There it is. So
this is Melissa, the assistant at White Teeth Clinic. I just sent you a promotion, as you probably saw a few minutes ago, and I'm also calling because you just filled out our form. If you'd like, feel free to tell me more about the issue you mentioned.
Yeah, I was wondering what you specialize on, because I could fill the form but couldn't get the idea.
We specialize in orthodontics, helping with misaligned teeth, bite issues, and overall oral health. Could you share what specific concern you're facing with your teeth or bite?
Yeah, what I do is that I just wake up every day and I see my mouth and I just don't really like it, as it's almost empty.
I understand, Tim. Is it the alignment of your teeth or something else about your smile that bothers you? Do you feel it affects your confidence or daily interactions?
Yeah, that I don't really have a smile, as I have no teeth.
I see, Tim. Thanks for sharing. We've helped many patients with similar cases, restoring their smiles with tailored solutions. How long have you been dealing with this?
I have been dealing with this around 14 months, let's say, for example. Yeah.
14 months is quite some time, Tim. How much does this affect your daily life? Would you like to resolve this
A
soon,
lot.
or
Yeah, a
prefer to
lot.
wait
A lot,
few
really.
months?
Yeah, a lot.
Here, Tim. Would you like to resolve this issue soon, or are you considering waiting a few months?
I would say that I would like to wait some months, as I did before in the past, but it didn't result in nothing, so I would like just to take action now.
Got it, Tim. Let's take action now. We can schedule a call with a specialist. What time works for you, Monday to Friday, between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m.?
I don't really know what time it is right now.
Right now, it's about 3:08 a.m. PDT. Would an afternoon time, like 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., work for you on a weekday?
Yeah, sure. For example, could it be Thursday, the next Thursday, please? I don't know which time it's gonna be, like which number of the month.
Next Thursday is May 22nd. Would you like to schedule the call at 3 p.m., 4 p.m., or another time between 3 p.m.
Yeah,
and 7 p.m.?
maybe 5:30 p.m.
Your call is scheduled for Thursday, May 22nd at 5:30 p.m. You will receive a confirmation via email and WhatsApp shortly. Let me know if you need anything else.
I think it would be okay. Thank you.
Welcome, Tim. Have a great day, and we look forward to speaking with you soon. Goodbye.
And here, if you can see it, there is an email that will be just opening up, and then here it is, white teeth, and it says right here, "Hi Tim Turner, we want to confirm that your call on 2025-05-22 at 5:30 p.m. has been confirmed." And then we have this message which says, "Hi Tim Turner, we want to confirm that your call, well, on that specific time and date, to discuss no teeth, wants to restore a smile, has been confirmed." And then here's an email that says, a message that says, related with the email part, "Additionally, we have sent the invitation by email to the same address you provided." Here is the invitation, like the event created in Google Calendar, in which we have Dr. Lee with Tim Turner, which is someone who we try to be. And here it says, "Appointment with our specialists for dental checkup." And then the topic is going to be no teeth and wants to restore a smile. So you can see that it's customized and it has taken into account the date and time that we wanted for it to be scheduled. It says Jueves, which is going to be Thursday in English, 22nd on May and 5:30 p.m. Dr. Lee with Tim Turner, and the topic is the one that we have talked about. And so now what we have been waiting this 5 minutes is that we get that result, and then we can determine, as we were saying before, if now we're going to be going on this way, on this or on this other one. Now we're just gonna be waiting for the call recording to be applied here. Here it is. As you can see, we have now this registered. Obviously, well, here we have 2 calls. That's why it has been put in here. Have 2 same names, but as you can see, we have Tim Turner. The first call has been on the status, put as done. Then the first call result has been answered. Here then, as you can see, there is the result of the first call summary. It says the call was about scheduling an appointment for Tim Turner, who expressed concerns about not having teeth and wanting to restore his smile. The agent, or the AI caller, provided information about the clinic services and successfully scheduled a call with a specialist for May 22nd at 5:30 p.m. Confirmed that Tim will receive reminders via email and WhatsApp. That is what really ended up happening. And then initial call transcription. As you can see here, we have agent for the AI, and then we have user for specifically the user or that lead. Then we have the call recording, in which if we just press it.
Hi, Tim Turner. How are you? This is Melissa, the assistant at White Teeth Clinic. I just sent you a promotion.
And here's like the rest of it. Here we are now on ADN, which is a platform that let us automate tasks and create agents and automations itself. On this case, as we were explaining before, this is exactly the same workflow that I was showing you before some minutes ago. On this case, we have this webhook, which is gonna be waiting for the responses from the form that we'll be having on Meta Ads. Really looking up to the problem type in a Google Sheets. We're gonna be saving those responses in variables. We're gonna be fixing the number so it has the array code included. We're gonna be cleaning up responses, as for example, my name is, for example, Agustin. We'll be just having Agustin on that field. Then we're going to be creating an offer audio with 11 labs. We're going to be extracting that from file so we can be able to send it through WhatsApp. Then with the offer included, we'll be waiting just 20 seconds to match the image. We just unload it, we extract it from the file, we send that offer in an image. We're gonna be waiting 20 seconds again, and then we're gonna be making through the Tell AI that call. Then we're gonna be waiting 5 minutes so we can analyze the call result, and then we can determine if the user did hang up within a few seconds. If it's true, that condition, we're going to be adding a record, as you can see here, of didn't answer record, which is going to be acting or working as a tag. Then we're going to be sending a message that it didn't answer the call, and then we're going to be waiting 5 seconds, so we send the second message so it sounds more natural and more closer to the person. Then if this condition is false, that the user didn't hang up, so it answered, we're going to have the translated summary, because it could be written in Spanish and we want it to be written in English, for example. And then we're going to be changing the format entry for the recording of the call to be added here as a record, as answered record on our table CRM. What we have is this other scenario, and as I was showing or explaining before, this is more specifically for scheduling events on this AI system, on this AI voice systems for system for orthodontics. Then again, we receive a webhook, through a webhook, the information about the times that the user wants to schedule that appointment. We just say those variables to be processed by a code, and then what this code really does is to put it on a format so Google Calendar is going to be able to understand when we want to schedule that appointment, and then we'll be checking the availability, which is this availability verification process, to see if it's available or not, which could lead to those two possible results. The first one is that there is no availability, so we are gonna be able to proceed due to VC Calendar, and we'll be communicating that to the AI receptionist, which is gonna be the AI caller, and then it will try to schedule to another time, and then after that, if it's available, so if this condition is true, we're going to be creating an event. We're going to be communicating this to the AI receptionist so we can handle the call in the situation. And then once that happens, as we were saying before, we're going to be sending that email to the lead as a confirmation message. We're going to be doing the same twice here in WhatsApp, obviously with 2 different messages, so it makes sense. And then we're going to be waiting 5 minutes for that record to be created. We're going to be looking or searching for it, and then we're going to be adding the scheduled record so we know that that call has been successful. Now you're probably going to be saying something like, perfect, I understand how it works, but how do I know if it is or not for my case? How do I apply it? Well, it's going to be just simple. You're going to be able to have a link down below in the description of this video. It could be something like this. You're going to be able to have a call with me, just one-on-one. I'm not going to be putting it closer to someone else. You're just going to be speaking literally with me, and we'll be seeing personally if it's for your case what we specialize on, which is AI, if it's going to be applied into your clinic or into your business, if it's a different one. You just click this link, you're going to be having a specific calendar for you to choose the date and time in which we're going to have just that call. And once we have that, we'll be determining if we're going to be working together or not. Just simple as it is. And then we're going to be having a call in this way. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked it. Goodbye.